What's up, everybody? P691000 here. First of all, I wanted to thank everybody for the 203 subscribers. We just broke 200 subscribers with my last video, the creepy Maine urban legends. I was really glad to see you guys enjoyed that. That was a big hit. So this time, I think we'll do creepy Vermont urban legends, and I found some good ones I think you guys are going to enjoy. But yeah, thanks again for the subscribers, and over 200 subscribers. That's crazy. That's awesome. I never really thought I would get that many subscribers on this channel, but I'm glad that you guys are enjoying it that much, because I enjoy doing the paranormal, and obviously you guys enjoy it as well. So without further ado, let's get into this video. Emily's Bridge, Stowe, Vermont. While Stowe may be best known for its skiing and the Trapp family lodge, the town has a spooky claim to fame as well. The covered Gold Brook Bridge, better known as Emily's Bridge, Emily is said to be a broken-hearted woman who haunts the bridge. The legends vary slightly, but they all involve her being jilted by a lover she was going to marry. One story ends with driving a fast-moving carriage off the rocky bank and dying in the brook below. The other and more common story says Emily hung herself by the rafters of the bridge. A history of bizarre occurrences on the bridge has circulated for decades. Some of the paranormal activity visitors have experienced include scratch marks on cars and feelings of being scratched or grabbed. Sounds resembling footsteps and screams have been reported. Apparently, the more hostile manifestations have been aimed at males who cross the bridge. Full-body apparitions have also been reported, with most of the activity occurring in the hours immediately after midnight. Whether or not the story of Emily is real, the cause of the bizarre activity at the Gold Brook Bridge certainly is. Hayden House in Albany, Vermont. The old Hayden House still stands on the outskirts of Albany, Vermont, and the Northeast Kingdom. The Hayden family is thought to have perished under the vengeful curse of William Hayden's mother-in-law, Mercy Dale. You see, Miss Dale tried to be a good mother-in-law and lent her daughter's husband large sums of money to go towards the family business. Instead, Hayden Sr. squandered it away, supporting his lavish lifestyle, and refused to pay the money back. Things went from bad to worse when Dale suspected her son-in-law was poisoning her. Legend has it that on her deathbed in 1806, Mercy cursed her party animal son-in-law and his family, saying that the third generation would be the last of the Hayden line. In 1854, William Hayden Jr. built the mansion that still stands today, looking the same as it did more than 150 years ago. He is thought to have been a party animal like his father, as plans for the building included a spring-suspended dance floor on the third floor to add a little bounce to his ballroom dances. Mercy's curse from the grave came true, because by 1927, according to various accounts, the entire Hayden family had gradually died due to an assortment of inexplicable illnesses. The curse was now complete. The Hayden family, along with Mercy Dale, are all buried in the family cemetery in Albany, and some have said that they can see ghostly lights near the property, thought to be the spirits of slaves that perhaps were buried in unmarked graves in the field near the farm. Some say phantom violin music can sometimes be heard in and around the old mansion, probably a flashback to one of the lavish parties during the happier times. The Golden Stage Inn. One of the stagecoach stops in Vermont said to be haunted is the Golden Stage Inn, which is still in its original form since it was constructed in 1788. This popular bed and breakfast is known for more than just its great meals and historic architecture. Originally, it was a stagecoach stop in southeast Vermont that may have also been an important part of the Underground Railroad. At one point, it was repurposed as a private home for nearly 100 years until it reopened as an inn in the 1960s. Although it has changed hands over the centuries, and now guests come and go, some residents are there to stay. A newer section of the inn may be home to a kind-hearted and handsome ghostly spirit. He reportedly looks like Robert Redford and wanders the halls in an old-fashioned coat. Other people have heard unexplained footsteps and electronics turning on and off on their own. Brattleboro Retreat Tower in Brattleboro, Vermont. Formerly known as the Vermont Asylum for the Insane, the Brattleboro Retreat is still a treatment center for mental patients. It was founded in 1834, and today they are 58 buildings on a sprawling 1,000 acres, with only 20 of the buildings being modern, and the remainder built between 1838 and 1938. One abandoned and closed-off building, the Retreat Tower, was built between 1887 and 1892 by patients. Legend says that the tower was closed shortly after being built because too many patients jumped to their death from the tower. One of the most common sightings today in the tower is a ghostly figure jumping, but never seeming to hit the ground. The Black Beast of Snake Mountain. The Black Beast of Snake Mountain, which supposedly stalked the slopes and terrorized unsuspecting farmers back in the 1920s and 1930s. It was said to lurk behind barns and houses that surrounded the mountain, and if encountered, it is said to be savage. According to the Vermont Monster Guide, one woman was attacked by this elusive creature one night while driving home after a visit with a neighbor. It began to chase her vehicle as she panicked and began to pick up speed down a winding road that carved along the base of the mountain. To her surprise, not only was the thing managing to keep up with the car, it was catching up. Not wanting to get in a car accident, she pulled off into the first farm she saw, and it wasted no time in jumping on top of her car and began to claw the roof. Now in hysterics, she did the only thing she could think of. She wailed on the horn. The noise grabbed the attention of the family who owned the farm, who soon appeared on the front porch in curiosity. But as soon as the floodlights were turned on, the woman ran back into the house screaming at the first sight of the terrifying creature. The men ran in shortly after to grab their guns, but when they came back outside, the animal had vanished into the night. The stories continue. Another encounter reported it would also jump down from tree limbs and scare children walking to nearby farms. Every attempt to shoot at it was a failure. It would also vanish successfully, leaving nothing but shaking onlookers and a terrifying memory. It seems the mysterious Black Beast faded into memory and folklore, and to this day, no evidence of what it could have been exists. American Flatbread in Burlington, Vermont. American Flatbread is a favorite restaurant in Burlington with its wood-fired and thin-crust pizzas made from organic and locally farmed ingredients and its own brewed beer. But before this establishment became American Flatbread in 2004, it was Kabar's restaurant, and the current manager of says the restaurant's first 2 years were full of creepy experiences, such as doors without locks locking mysteriously, and a wreath around above the fireplace flying across the room. Previously, the workers at Kabar's restaurant reported similar happenings, including a server who mysteriously got locked into a cooler. The establishment had a sordid history starting decades earlier when a young cook killed himself. Before that, from 1790 to 1820, a man named Gideon King ran the trade on Lake Champlain, and during an embargo he built a series of tunnels to illegally transport goods under the building. Legend says that later, during the Prohibition era, the tunnels were part of the booze trade. Strange happenings continue to happen at American Flatbread, mostly in the basement. A word to the wise: don't go down there alone. The Green Mountain Inn is a historic hotel and haunted building. In 1840, Boots Barry was born in the inn's servants' quarters, which is now room 302. His mother was a housekeeper at the inn, and his father took care of the horses. With Boots following in his father's footsteps, becoming a stable hand, he also became a much-loved member of the community, once stopping an out-of-control stagecoach and saving all on board. As the years passed, Boots developed a drinking habit and was fired from his job. He then traveled around the country and learned to dance while in jail, hence the nickname Boots. In 1902, he came back to visit the inn, and a young child had snuck onto the roof and was stuck there during a massive snowstorm. Boots saved the child, but wasn't so lucky himself. He slipped after the rescue and fell to his death. Visitors and employees claimed to hear the sound of dancing feet coming from the roof. The strange disappearance of Paula Jean Weldon and the mystery behind the Bennington Triangle. On Sunday, December the 1st, 1946, Paula Jean Weldon disappeared while walking on Vermont's Long Trail hiking route and was never seen again. At the time of Weldon's disappearance, the struggle to find her showed a desperate need for a dedicated law enforcement agency to investigate missing people in Vermont. Investigators from Connecticut, Massachusetts, and New York were all called in due to the limited police services available in the Green Mountain State. A year later, the Vermont State Police was formed. Not only did Paula Weldon's disappearance show a stronger need for more law enforcement in Vermont, but it also opened a debate about the Bennington Triangle and if something evil could be lurking in the mountains. Did a man-eating beast once roam the Glastonbury Mountain in Vermont? Many have concluded this to be a possibility due to the baffling disappearances which have occurred within a triangular area of the mountain known as the Bennington Triangle. Was this mountainous area once the hunting grounds of a terrifying animal? An animal similar to the suspected culprit of the terrifying events which occurred within the Dyatlov Pass in 1951? An event largely but reluctantly put down by many as an attack by a Yeti between 1945 and 1958. With no less than 5 people disappearing within the Bennington area in mysterious circumstances, it could most certainly be possible. On November the 12th, 1945, 74-year-old Mitty Rivers vanished while guiding a group of 4 hunters up the mountains. Rivers got slightly ahead of the group and was never seen again. Searches were conducted, yet the only thing discovered was a single rifle cartridge in the stream. Paula Weldon, 18, would vanish on December the 1st, 1946. An 18-year-old sophomore, she had set out for a hike along the long trail. She was being followed along the trail by a couple who were about 100 yards behind her. According to them, she turned a corner ahead and vanished forever. An extensive search was conducted by the FBI, including a $5,000 reward for any information. However, no trace of her has ever been found. A strange rumor would circulate in the town some years later, stating that she had fallen in love with something in the mountains and had become a recluse up there. On December the 1st, 1949, exactly 3 years later, James Tedford, a war veteran, got on the bus somewhere between the last stop and Bennington. Tedford somehow vanished from the moving bus. His belongings were still in the luggage rack. These disappearances have never been and will likely never be explained. One thing is for certain, however. Many believe in the Bennington Triangle. And many believe that something sinister is happening there. What's up, everybody? P691000 here. Hope you guys liked that video. I really enjoyed it. I had to do the story on Paula Jean Weldon there at the end and the Bennington Triangle. She really, strangely, I know they say everybody has a doppelganger. Paula Jean Weldon looks like an ex of mine that I was head over heels in love with. Had the red hair and all that stuff. You know, they look very similar. So I felt sorry for Paula Jean Weldon. I had a soft spot in my heart for her, I guess, because she reminded me of my ex. And it's sad what happened to Paula Jean. She was only 18 years old. She vanished, and it makes you wonder what happened to her. You know, where did she go? And the family never got any resolution. They never got any peace to that. So, but you know, hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you guys, enjoyed the stories as much as I enjoyed telling them to you. So, thanks again for the over 200 subscribers. I hope you guys stick around, and I hope you enjoy this video as well as you enjoyed the last one. So, peace, love. I love you all. Have a great day, and I'll see y'all next time.